Let me give you my CELPIP speaking secrets. And I'm not kidding around because these secrets are things we only teach in classes. I do not make YouTube videos about this. But because of the overwhelming majority of people failing in the speaking part, these are the emails I get. And then, we tell them to take our courses. These are some of the things we teach in our courses, and they don't face problems anymore. There's a million things we have in our courses. So I'm just going to point out three of the, you could say, some of the most crucial techniques. But there are a lot more, of course. Feedback is important and all those great things. But today we're going to discuss three things that you not only can use for your CELPIP exam, but for your overall English. The more you do it, the better your habits will become, and you will sound like a native speaker. You will sound super fluent. How? Well, let's try the first technique. Technique number one you got to do if you have your CELPIP exam coming up is record and listen to yourself. It's cringy, right? It's uncomfortable. We don't like to do that. But when you listen to yourself, you tend to be very insecure. This is something that, first of all beautiful women have this in common. They're very insecure about themselves, even if they're the prettiest women in the room, because that's just how women are. And for men too, it would be different things. It could be the looks, it could be their finances, etc. We just tend to judge ourselves way too much, no matter how good we are. And that is really good if you're doing the CELPIP exam. So you want to play these speaking answers whenever you practice at home. Listen to yourself. You will be super judgmental. You'll be embarrassed to listen to yourself. Even if you're a good speaker, you still will be, because you will be extra careful and insecure. So you listen to yourself and evaluate your mistakes. Now you might think, if I knew my mistakes, why would I make them? You will still make them, and you will be able to point those out. I have so many examples of students who listen to themselves and they're like, how did I say this wrong? I know how to say the correct grammar here. I could have said this better. I know this better word. But when they're speaking, they don't realize it, which is why it's important to listen to yourself and understand your mistakes and make sure you don't repeat them. Now, you don't want to just stop there. Redo this answer. Record it again. Redo it. And so on. There will never be a perfect attempt. You will always feel something is missing, but keep doing one question or one recording multiple times, then move on to the next one and so on. Gradually, you will see a huge difference within 2 weeks, I would say. When you play the first recording and 2 weeks later, the last one, you listen to both together, keep a record. It's really interesting. When you see those two recordings, you will hear a huge difference. And that's where you will see how valuable that exercise will be for you. So I'm giving you these techniques if you do not want to spend any money on coaching. Of course, feedback with an expert, with a live teacher can make a huge difference. But if you just want to do it yourself, you got to be your own teacher. Record and listen. You also, for the CELPIP exam, need to time yourself. And here's where the recording would really help you. It will keep you under time. It will also show you if you are rushing at the end and if you are starting on time when you begin. So all those things are great. All right, technique number two, speech to text software. Now you can go online, you can search for a software where you say words and it writes the text. You can even do it on your iPhone or Android, right? When you go on the messaging app or notes, you click on the mic and you say stuff. It'll write it down for you, okay? So what you gotta do is say everything you need to say, make sentences, make the CELPIP speaking answers, then check the text. Did it write down what you said, what you were narrating to it? If it didn't, chances are, there's chances, of course, that the computer itself is not perfect. Of course, the machine is still learning. But if you have said it really clearly, it's very hard for it to miss it. So the other chances, the most likely chances are you're not saying it correctly. You're not clear enough. Clarity has marks in the CELPIP speaking exam. So you gotta do it again. Make sure this machine or your Mac or your iPhone or Android is transcribing the exact text that you are trying to say. If it is writing the same thing, it means you're super clear. If it's not, then you need to redo it and see what is the issue. Is your accent really thick? Don't you have enough pauses? Is the emphasis messed up? And those things will help you sound even better. The last thing I'm going to say is control your breathing. Okay. Now, breathing might seem like not something that belongs in the top 3 magical tips for speaking. Yeah, that's 3. It would seem like a tip I give usually, hey, use connectors, use complex words, and use pauses, right? But the reason I put it in this list is because pauses can do a whole range of things for you. Pauses have great power that people don't realize. Now, people have a hard time understanding what pauses they have. Where should they use pauses? So we have seen the Iron Man movies, right? We've seen how Robert Downey talks. He's really fast, really like an arrogant way of speaking. His pauses come after like 10 words or maybe even more. If you listen to Barack Obama talk, on the other hand, his pauses come after every 2 to 3 words. You see Donald Trump talking, his word, it's different. It's kind of in the middle. I really recommend you guys to listen to Ben Shapiro on YouTube. He is more on the right wing, so some liberals might not like that. But I'm saying this, if you want to improve your English, see how he speaks. He speaks like a machine. It's really fast. So he pauses like after 20 words. But you got to know where you have to pause. So what I'm doing, I feel I pause after every 5 to 6 words. It could be a 1 second pause or a half a second pause. And that's my technique to take my breath. So here's what it does. It helps me to take my breath. Number one, let's count it. All the benefits. Helps me to take my breath, which keeps me relaxed. Helps me to think of the next thing I'm going to say. Helps me to think of the connector. Am I going to use furthermore, however, on my next point? Helps me to connect ideas, because I could be rambling, right? If I keep talking for a long time, I might go off topic, but it keeps my train of thought focused. Like, all right, I just finished saying that. Now I need to say something else. So it does that, and it's like there's at least 10 benefits I can list if I write it down properly and focus. It just keeps your thoughts organized, keeps you clear, keeps you relaxed, and you have marks for confidence and tone in the CELPIP speaking. So you better be relaxed and better sound relaxed. And it helps you manage your words. Because if you have seen our videos here, there are unfortunately a lot of things you got to focus on in the CELPIP speaking. It's not just speaking with the answer. You got to look at the time. You got to do the templates correctly. You have to do the vocab. In the vocab, you have to think of so many range items about the advanced complex sentences and much more. There's so many things. How can you think of all of that when you just constantly talk and not take pauses to think about the next thing you have to say? So take pauses. They do wonderful, magical things in your speaking. But also, when you combine all these three things, it really works like amazing work of art with your speaking, because you will pause and you will record and listen to yourself, and you will judge how those pauses are. You will know how or after how many words you pause, and then you will reevaluate yourself, listen again to your recording. You will also make your clarity all the more better by using the speech-to-text software, and just keep doing it again and again, just non-stop, all right? The more you practice, the better, not only for your CELPIP exam, but for your overall English speaking as well. And if you did like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk very soon. Take care.